I think you can hear it now. Oh shit, that is so bright. Let's turn down my face. It looks like an egg. Hi everybody. There we go. That's a little less harsh, wouldn't we say? Hey! What is up, everybody? Happy Monday night. Long time no see. I know I saw some of you last night. I did a bit of an impromptu live to talk about the state of leftist journalism. And spoiler alert, it's not looking great. The state is not great. So you can go check that out anytime. There were a couple banger clips that I pulled out of there, including one in which Taylor Lorenz knows somebody who has made P word out of skibbity toilet. That was definitely the weirdest part of the show last night. Congrats on another shout out. Thank you so much. I couldn't believe it. I was so excited. I do have the clip. I also have the clip of Alex the Fiction's shout out for all those amazing Bobby sound bites. So we will get into that, and then we'll talk about the show, and then we can do whatever y'all want to do. We can talk about whatever you want to talk about. I got a couple timestamps to hit, and a couple things to show. I'm in my 30s and still don't know what skibbity toilet is, and I'm trying so hard to keep it that way. Yeah, I think if you're an adult and you don't like work with children, you're safe. We just have to just know that from here on out, as older people, there's going to be a lot of stuff we don't understand. You know, like that's just how it is. Maybe I can turn this down just a little bit. Okay, there we go. You might hear or see my orange cat who is going nuts on my desk right now. But for now, I want to start with something that's a little bit sad. If you are a queer person with a bleeding heart, you are probably grieving today. We lost a beautiful poet. Andrea Gibson passed away after their battle with cancer for years and years, through remission and then coming out of remission. It has been hard to watch as a fan, but they did it with such grace and honor for being ill and the process of dying. Like it was a lot. But Andrea was so equipped to sort of shepherd us through it on social media. So I'm grateful that they did. And I just wanted to show you Andrea reading one of my favorite poems that they wrote. This was a poem that I saw them perform live when I was single and heartbroken and feeling like I was too much for people, that I was moving, I moved too fast. I loved too hard. And then I saw them perform this poem and I cried. I went to see them all by myself, all alone. And this just was like a balm on my heart. So I just want to share this, have a little moment for Andrea, and then we can get into the goofs and gaffs. Okay, I might cry. I hope I don't cry, but we'll see. Okay.
Never gonna wait that extra 20 minutes to text you back. And I'm never gonna play hard to get when I know your life has been hard enough already. When we all know everyone's life has been hard enough already, it's hard to watch the game people make of love, like everyone's playing chess with their scars, saying checkmate whenever they get out without a broken heart. Just to be clear, I don't want to get out without a broken heart. I intend to leave this life so shattered, there better be 1,000 separate heavens for all my flying parts.
Ooh, yep, got me. That one got me. Yeah. Just that being proud to love hard and to be open and vulnerable and to get your heart broken. That really, really spoke to me. We're 7 seconds in and I'm welling up. Why are we deleting messages from which? Yeah, if you want to be in your feelings, go watch or read anything by Andrea Gibson tonight, to honor them, to become a new fan and keep their legacy going. Yeah, they passed away today. Actually, we can read what they posted. Am I able to get in here? Oh, it's not working. There's a beautiful message from Andrea's loved ones on her Instagram that you can go read as well. Oh, but yes, Andrea was, I don't like that. Andrea was a wonderful person. They were the Colorado Poet Laureate for a while. And they have left a big soft space behind, for sure. Okay. Now let's talk about how Ethan can't stop peeing. Hard transition, anyone? Hard transition? I feel like I need a record scratch. I need like the Fresh and Fit record scratch for that. No, before we do that, well, make sure you fill out the poll to see what we think so we can diagnose our king. Right now, large unfuckable prostate is winning. Hard transition. Let's see where it goes. Ethan can't stop talking about you, girl. I saw today. And I have a clip of it. So make sure you fill out the poll about why Ethan is peeing so much. We have large unfuckable prostate. We have UTI, poopus, which I just love that word so much. Someone put it in the chat. When was it? I don't even remember. I don't remember what show it was, but I was crying laughing at that. And then obviously crack. Because who really knows how long it stays in your system after you do it one time 20 years ago? And just before the stream started, I saw this post from someone named Malek Kareem, who says, abolish Islam won. That's not great. So I don't know who this person is, but apparently, according to them, and I don't know if it's true, Taylor Lorenz is confusing everyone with her stalker and thinking everyone is a stalker of her now. I mean, I've seen her use the phrase a lot, and I don't want to minimize the fact that stalkers are really scary, but it does seem that she thinks that she has a lot of stalkers. You literally once pitched a whole article about me. It's weird. The only reason I know who you are is because you're someone who posts about me constantly. Get a life. I beg you. I read this and I was like, shit. How many more tweets do I get? How many more videos do I get before I too am a Taylor Lorenz stalker? I guess we'll find out, won't we? Speaking of which, yeah. She's in my video about leftist journalism. So go check that out. But not right now. Stay where you are. Stay where you are. Oh, welcome, Ixie Glixie. First time catching the live. We love it. Oh, we have Alex the Fiction, H3 Celebrity in chat. Got the shout out today. Let's get into it so we can get to that piece. We talked about Andrea. We love that Olivia is back, feeling better. So glad you're feeling better, girly. And then I did see this. I assume y'all know I try not to scoop the show and talk about things on here before they cover them, right? Especially with things that are as serious as this. But I'm worried that between now and Wednesday, they might forget to talk about it. And it is something that needs to be addressed urgently. It's James Charles as Roger from American Dad. Shout out to Junicorn. Is that supposed to be like Junicorn? Like unicorn? Jornicorn? I don't know why I went straight Junicorn. I just love this so much. And so shout out to Jernikern for their work. I am so jealous of graphic designers. The stuff that they're able to do is just incredible. So shout out to the H3 family and all of the talent that you bring to the table. Okay, next up, let's talk about our celebrity in chat, Alex the Fiction, getting a shouty from Ethan today. Top of the show, not just a shouty. Bro got his own timestamp from Timestamp Boy. So here is Ethan talking about it.
So we got Bobby doing the Keemstar sound effect. That's pretty transformative.
We got a lot more. Shout out Alex the Fiction. Woofy sent me these. He had Bobby record some best hits from the H3 soundboard.
Yeah,
that is so freaking cool. That is such a good idea, Alex. I am so glad you did that, and I'm so glad that Wolfie sent them to Zach, because this is awesome. Everyone go follow Alex the Fiction. His channel is linked in my description, so I make it super easy. Yeah, but look at these sound bites are incredible, and I feel like there's even more than this that are just Zach's gonna surprise us with over the next, a couple days, couple weeks. And Alex, I know that you have your interview with Bobby coming out soon, right?
I did some amazing work over the break and brought together
the H3 soundboard.
Yeah, that guy did some amazing work over the break, and
yes, he did. Alex kept y'all busy, kept y'all entertained over the break for sure, and is still doing so.
And brought together collaborations of the decade, frankly.
Yep, we got Bobby, Papa Gut, some amazing collabs for sure.
So we'll be hearing those throughout
the show. There's some heat in here. So
oof, what an honor to have Zach call your sound bites heat. Zach is the GOAT in the game. So shout out to our homie Alex. Yay. We love that for you. All right, let me see if he says anything else here.
Very exciting. Today we're...
Oh, the fucking Frogan one is so good.
Wow, he's so good.
He's so good.
This one's probably my favorite.
Wake up, little boy!
Wake up! Who said that?
Wake up, Ethan!
Oh did he say wake up, little boy?
Bobby's talent is amazing. Yeah, and if you're just joining, the Bobby sound bites were made by someone here in chat. So shout out to Alex. Alex did an interview with Bobby that's going to be coming out soon. And he had the presence of mind and the forethought to have Bobby record all these awesome sound bites. So I love that. And also, in a few weeks, you'll be able to see me appearing on Alex's channel. I got to judge a portion of the gigantic soundbite competition that Alex is doing alongside the Jersey Lawman. And it was an awesome time. So I can't wait to see that too. Okay, let's see what else we got going on here. There was a little something on Reddit that I wanted to show. I'm not entirely sure if they're going to talk about this. I don't know if they've decided to just not talk about Adam anymore, or if there's going to be more on Wednesday. I guess we'll find out, but I did just want to show this since it kind of came up in the middle of things. So if you are familiar with the fact that Adam had ICE called on him, our community has been getting blamed for that, right? They're assuming that it's some anti-Ethan person who decided to do this. Something that I hope none of us would ever do, because we are not snarkers. We do not use government agencies against people, because that's disgusting. Hello, wait. If you're going to be an asshole, at least come and say hi. This is Julius. This is Orange Julius. Is his full government name, his Christian name. Hi, baby. He's the best little boy. Ow! Sometimes. Okay, so that's my cat. That's my cat. Oh, full screen? Oh, let's full screen it. Okay. Maybe I can just... There we go. Is that better? So I guess the person who posted the ICE thing, that was me. To the right, it says R01 visa. So Adam, tell us, what religious activities did you do? So here they're taking credit for it. We don't know if this is just them trolling or what. This rotten little man is never going to be held to account. Only rotten little and stupid two people here are you and the rest of the Ethan Klein bootlickers. Learn to read, and I hope everyone who falsely reported goes to prison. So these are other people, I guess. And I think they are the bright green here. So this person who submitted it to Reddit, to the subreddit, apparently checked their name, and shout out for not, putting people on blast, even if they potentially did something shitty. They went and checked their profile to see, what subs they're active in, because, everyone's saying it's an H3 fan who put in an ICE report. I didn't even know that Adam would have had a visa, right? Because I don't follow his shit. I don't look at his Instagram, right? And also, that would never be my first thought. That is a horrific, horrific thing to do. And I hope y'all all work. Oh, shit. The Galaxy links don't work? Okay, I will fix them. I'll fix them after the show. The H3 hug box. How about the H3 slop bucket? I was thinking about. Yeah, I had no idea about any of this. So to me, you kind of got to be an Adam snarker to do that, right? You're not an H3 fan. The H3 trough. I love that. I also never know how to say trough. Is it trough or trough? Anyway, so enough suspense here. Their top two activities. Top two subs for activities were /R, Fomois, and Hasan. And the account was only started in March, right? So this all has snarker written all over it. So yeah. Does not seem like they are one of us. I am not sure why again, no honor among thieves, right? It doesn't make sense that they would do this to Adam, who is also hating Ethan, right? So we don't know what's going on. We don't know what's going on, but somebody who took credit for the ICE report, which we've only seen as a screenshot of a form being submitted online, right? Nothing else. Someone who took credit for that was most active in Fomois and Hasan Piker, two of the subreddits that are more or less, mostly more, H3 snarks at this point. So there is that. Do with that what you will. They're so predictable. They just want someone to blame. Yeah, it's just... It was a Hasan fan. Yeah, I don't know. I really do not know who did it or why. But to me, it does kind of feel like the fake happy Ramadan post that got deleted, right? They made it look like the H3 sub was silencing Muslim voices, right? And here they're doing something that seems to implicate Adam haters, and for some reason they think it's us, when he's had his own snark for years now, I'm sure. Oh, you like my thumbnail? Thank you. I literally do not give a single fuck about Adam. He makes it hard to give a fuck. He sure does. I love the idea of a Hasan fan utilizing ICE. Exactly. These are the people that are so anti-establishment, anti-capitalism and white supremacy, and, abolishing the criminal justice system and defunding the police. But then you're going to call fucking ICE on someone? You're going to call CPS on someone? You're going to call the FBI on someone? The IRS? This has all been done to Ethan and Hila, by the way. It's just wild, man. And again, this is why I say they do not get to decide who is leftist and who isn't. It is not up to them. His snark was almost dead, so was his tour, but his friends took care of him. Yeah, it's not a very popular snark, so it's interesting that all of this is happening. It does feel like it's being amped up to try and point fingers at our community, which is stupid because none of us give a fuck. I hope you are safe from all this bullshit and they're not coming for you now too. I haven't seen too much of it, but who knows? It might happen. I will say that I dealt with Trump supporters 4+ years ago, right? Because in 2020 I blew up on Instagram and TikTok, and so I got a lot of scary shit back then. So I have gained the ability to sort of deal with it to some degree. But yeah. So what's his tour about? He's a professional mean girl on stage. Essentially, that's what that from the clips I've seen, that's what he does. He like gets up there, puts people up on the projector behind him and just like talks shit. Which is like, sure, it's fun, but like creating your entire like brand around being mean to people has got to also be exhausting. Yes, he has an ELA section. Frequent peeing can also be a sign of prediabetes. That's true. I would doubt that Ethan is pre-diabetic, but you never know. I was about to say he reminds me of your classic high school shit starter. Not worth even wasting a thought on much, less harassing. Yeah, and he's just waiting for you to do stuff so he can talk about it and monetize it, right? Part of me wouldn't be surprised if Adam made his own snark. Oh my God, imagine that. Imagine that. God, I need Taco Bell. Ooh, I would love Taco Bell. Should we get Taco Bell breakfast tomorrow? Maybe Wednesday. Probably Wednesday. We gotta deal with my wife's truck tomorrow. Okay. So I got you on the chickens. Do we have a chicken update, by the way? Do we have an update on the chicken sex in the bathroom? Yeah, I keep hearing Taco Bell breakfast slaps. Okay, drop the update in chat for everybody, and I can pin it so everyone can read it. All right, let's keep going here. With my shouty. So I got a shouty in the top of the episode 2. I was absolutely not expecting it. And so here, where is it? Here it is. Okay. Let's make sure y'all can still hear it. Okay.
Reporting you to ICE? Is that free speech? I thought it was free speech. Anyway, here is a shout out to Girl with the Microphone who's been all over this stuff. She's a superstar in the making.
A superstar in the making.
She's live and posting videos all the time on YouTube. Highly recommend checking her out.
Thank you, babe.
She said, how did Adam get a big Rolling Stones write-up after a single screenshot was shared? Good question.
Thank you.
Why did the article ignore his ongoing role in other snark subreddits and have leveled years of harassment against other creators, including actual ICE and CPS reports? I have a theory. So let's take a look through Theory World with Girl with the Mic.
Oh my God.
So I don't know if you guys saw it. I don't remember if we even discussed it. Reddit trolls are weaponizing government.
This is so surreal. I just need y'all to know. It is so surreal to have Ethan Klein saying my name on the show. Like, it is bananas. It is so weird. It doesn't feel like it's really happening. The last time that I felt this thrilled was when Megan Rapinoe DM'd me. That day cannot be topped. This is a close second. This is a close second for sure. All right, here we go.
Agencies against creators, focusing on Adam McIntyre, who is Irish and touring the U.S. legally, was falsely reported to ICE by people online. Really? This is when you're actually taking notice of this? Like the CPS call wasn't interesting to you. That wasn't interesting. The skulls wasn't interesting to you.
Yep.
Love being reported to ICE wasn't interesting to you.
Mind you, I actually contacted one of these journalists to tell them about the CPS call and all of the snark stuff was happening because I thought it would be really, really interesting. And they responded with a bunch of Hasan bullshit. Anyway.
So who's this author? Fortessa Latifi? That sounds like a fake name.
Now, Ethan, it's not a fake name. They are a real person. And I saw people in chat saying that it's an Albanian name. So I do not co-sign. I disavow Ethan making fun of someone's name. He cannot help himself. Yeah. So Forteza Latifi is apparently, according to chat earlier, an Albanian name. So shout out Albanians. Shout out. Love you guys. I used to work with an Albanian. He was fucking crazy and racist, but I know most of you are not.
I've never met a Fortessa or a Latifi.
Or a Latifi.
And I know a lot of people.
I know Queen Latifah.
I know a lot of people, Dan. A lot. Have you ever met a Fortessa?
That doesn't mean it doesn't exist,
I don't think so, no.
Ethan.
There you go. It's totally impossible.
But I would never say that it sounds like a fake name.
Thank you, Dan. Thank you, Dan.
You would never?
No.
I bet there's something on the record.
Ethan, chill.
Sometime.
Because I know that
Exactly.
there's lots of names I don't know.
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
I like
Oh,
Forteza. Yeah, I think it's a pretty name. I like Latifi too. I think her name is beautiful. That is not the problem I have with him. But yeah, he is being a hater ass bitch right now.
Limits of my knowledge. That's Dan. The less I know, the more I know I don't
Hi,
know,
Ethan,
Dan,
if you're
over
watching,
here,
I'm sorry I
philosopher.
called you
That's
a
a
hater-ass
fake name,
bitch.
bro. Anyway, moving on. So here she is, okay?
Here's Forteza.
Journalist, Rolling Stones, Cut, New York Times, etc. She has a book about family vloggers and child influencers. Very cool.
I would probably want to read that, honestly.
Then if you check her follows, she follows Kat Tenbarge, the other disgraced journalist who's obsessed with writing smear pieces about political enemies, and following Taylor Lorenz. And Taylor Lorenz 3.0, the weird, creepy...
Now, y'all already know this because you probably watched the video. Wait, did you share the update? Did you share the update? Fuck, did I miss it? So yeah, y'all already know this. And it's not that just that Forteza is following these people. They're all mutuals. They're all following each other. So there's that. Let me see if there's anything else in here.
How Adam McIntyre got a write-up in Rolling Stones, it's because of this creepy group of journalists that, so quote-unquote journalists, I guess it's only a matter of time before Forteza gets shit canned for lying to her editors about something, which has already happened to Taylor and Kat.
Allegedly, I don't know if this is true.
But until then, this is what's going on in the media, guys.
I respect the H3 snark.
Adam has openly...
So that was a shout out. Thank you, Ethan, as always, for shouting me out. I will be adding you calling me, what did he call me? A superstar in the making, something crazy like that.
Yeah, she's really funny and good.
He's
Check it
also
out.
called me funny and good.
She's super smart, funny.
Smart and funny as well. And
I recommend it. Girl with a microphone.
recommends it, which he did say again. So thank you so much for recommending me, King. I appreciate it. Superstar in the making. That's what it was. Thank you, Shireen. So nice of him. So thank you so much, Ethan, for that. And there's more about Taylor and Kat and their ilk in the video I made last night, the stream we did last night about journalism and journalistic ethics and lack thereof right now that is happening on the left. Okay, here's a question, and really this is just me wanting you guys to enable me, so bear with me. The crew chat when they were talking about Nintendo Switch 2. I have a Nintendo Switch. I play it all the time. I love it. Currently playing Baldur's Gate 1, the very, very, very first one from like 20 years ago. Should I get the Switch 2 just to have Mario Kart? Should we do that? And do you guys want to watch me lose at Mario Kart on here? Like, I don't know if y'all... Teacher plays games too? Hell yeah! I don't know if y'all would watch like a gamer stream where we just chat, you know? I would say wait, realistically, there's no rush. Okay, cool. Yes, hanging. The last game system I got was the 3DS. Oh. I'm not a gamer, but they make it sound fun. Wait for the OLED version. I don't know what that means, but feel free to tell me. The new one doesn't have a great screen. Oh, interesting. Okay. Of course we will watch. Well, I don't know. Some people are like, ew, I don't want to watch gamers, you know? But I have been kind of looking up like how to stream, like how to get it up on the stream from the Switch. Okay. So we'll wait. But if I'm at a point where I just like don't have a ton for us to chat about, I have some ideas. Although Ethan really keeps us fed, doesn't he? I also started watching like 90s infomercials last night because I was a huge infomercial fan. So that might be another thing for a random night stream where we just rewatch some old infomercials for fun because I don't think anybody's claiming that shit. Oh, Animal Crossing literally saved me during the pandemic. I played that for hours and hours and hours and hours, and it really helped with my anxiety and my insomnia because I thought I was dying like every time I closed my eyes. It was really fun. It was a really fun time. Please, infomercials would be so fun. All right, cool. I'll got it on the list. Bob Ross stream. We could paint. Watch Extreme Cheapskate. I want to see your reactions. I would probably be so mad. I've been playing Uncharted. I don't know that one. I recently got No Man's Sky for Switch. So that might be something that I start on here. Or we could do Baldur's Gate. But that's kind of like, that's such a fucking grind. We could also play Fall Guys. Has been really fun. I'm terrible at it, but Fall Guys is really fun. Yeah, let's do the rotisserie chicken update. We want to do that before we get into the show. Honestly, I might be able to... Which? Do you have Discord? Do you want to just like quote unquote call in and with the update? Now that I totally do Discord. It's less typing that way, at least. How do you feel about collabs with other streamers? Well, I just did... Oh, there's the OG TikTok. Okay, great. And I'll link the YouTube video again. Okay, awesome. Oh, you put it in a YouTube video. You're amazing. That's great. Discord. Okay, yeah, why don't you call in so I can ask questions? Collabs with other streamers is cool. It's not like a huge priority for me. Just because, I don't know, I'm kind of a loner, but I mean, I have the time to do stuff. I just want it to be something we both want to do or we all want to do. Like I just did a little bit with Alex, which was awesome. I can host an H3 game night for you. Oh my God, that sounds so fun. That sounds so fun. I have the same name on Discord. The Discord. Someone asked me like what my favorite sound bites are. And I think it was Haley's comment the last time she was in chat. And I couldn't remember a lot of them. I will say since then I've been thinking about it, and I love the Bill O'Reilly when he's like, "This fucking thing sucks." That's one that I think about and use often for sure. Who is Alex? I've made several fun H3 themed games your audience will love. Some games can include audience too. Ooh, fun. Oh yeah, it'd be fun to do like Jackbox and things like that. I don't know if that's considered like copyright if we'd be able to play on here, but that would be so fun. Okay, I'll send you the YouTube video again. All right, thanks, Witchy. Send away. Stop Laughing at Sonic is great. It's very, very good. Do you get a chance to read for fun? How about some book reviews? Oh my God. You are barking up the correct tree. I love talking about books. I love doing book reviews. I actually used to write them for...
Hey there, H3 Galaxy.
Oh, there's Witch. Your hair is fucking cool. Okay. But yeah, I used to do book reviews for Tin House, which is a publishing house, like a smaller press. And yeah, I got those in like different lit journals, and that was always really fun. What type of books? Bet you can't guess what kind I typically read. I'm guessing fantasy by the fact that you're an orc. I tend to read. Oh, you know what? I have a quiz for us. Okay. We're gonna do the rotisserie chicken story, and then we are going to do the quiz that someone at work gave all of us. That was so freaking cool. Okay. Where it tells you what kind of a reader you are. And that was so fun, and it gives you like recommendations. Is anything worse than fucking Apple Mail? I fucking hate it. Okay. Dox my Discord, it's okay. All right, where are you? Okay. Add friend. No, let me just read it out. Oopsies. WXTCHBLXDE. That's a cool name as well. All right, I sent you a friendly request. Hopefully you get it. Morbid nonfiction. That's fun. You are correct for the record. Is this a fan channel? Sometimes. Yeah, all right. So let's get into the rotisserie chicken drama. Once I have... Ah, there you are. Okay. Okay, this is my first time doing this. Probably shouldn't... It's just going to be a voice call. Is that okay? And we'll see. I want to make sure that I can... Okay, can y'all hear that? This is a snark channel. Yeah, we're huge snarkers.
Hello.
Hello! Can everyone hear Witch?
Hello, everybody.
Can everyone hear? Audio. Oh, we got thumbs up. Okay. So please tell us the updates on the rotisserie chicken assault in the bathroom.
All right, you could call it an assault, that is for sure, Kate.
Mm-hmm.
So I was assaulted with the information that our night shift lead had an associate come up to him and tell him that there was a rotisserie chicken in the bathroom that looked like it potentially had been violated in a sexual manner.
Mm-hmm.
That is the gist of everything. We had a couple questions last stream, and that was if the rotisserie chicken was bought at my store.
Mm-hmm.
The rotisserie chicken was from my store, but it was not purchased.
Okay. So no money changed hands.
Correct.
Gotcha. Okay.
It is also an update that it was a customer.
Okay. Not an employee.
Associate.
Not an associate. Okay. That's what I was assuming. I was assuming that, but okay.
Yes, and so for the grand finale, the biggest question that was asked, where was the point of entry? That was on the cloaca, Kate.
No,
they went in the cloaca.
Oh my God! So it was a full home run, not third base. It wasn't. It wasn't a throat goat situation on the chicken.
No, the throat goat was not coated. It went behind.
In the cloaca. We do have a question from Alex. Was the chicken intact, or did it appear to have been eaten at all?
I personally did not see the chicken. I did correspond with the lead of the person that found the chicken. They said it was mostly intact besides a hole.
Oh my God.
This is all hearsay as well, but the management confirmed it did happen.
Okay. Is there any surveillance footage of a man coming out with like chicken grease on his pants? Like, do we know who this guy is?
So there is footage of him going in with the chicken.
Okay.
Footage of him coming out without the chicken.
Oh my God. And this was like during store hours.
Near the end of the night. We closed at 11 p.m. I believe it happened around 10:30, around when the closing announcements are happening. I don't know how he still had a rotisserie chicken.
Wow. You know,
those go out at about 6.
I've eaten my share of rotisserie chickens. We also grow chickens here on my little farm. The cloaca side is usually pretty big. So do we think this guy was packing? What do we think?
I think he definitely was the man for the job, because allegedly he finished.
He finished, yes. Good to know. Was it raw? It was cooked, right? This was a cooked chicken. This was a rotisserie.
It was definitely cooked. Yeah, it was in the bag, in the sealed bag.
Okay. And was the chicken hot or refrigerated? Do we know that?
Ooh, that I don't know, because we do have hot ones and refrigerated. Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting. Well, thank you so much for reporting on the scene. If you hear anything else, if any other baked goods or meats or produce get violated, we will be here and ready to talk about it.
This has been my local reporting from a grocery store manager. Thank you for platforming me, Kate. I hope that you don't regret this, and I hope Ethan never sees this.
He might. Bye, girly. Oh, thank you. That's Witch on the scene with a little field report for us on the chicken massacre, the chicken assault of 2025. So thank you so much for that. More call-ins. That was awesome. If y'all have a good story, we can definitely do that. Okay, next up. I know we're supposed to be talking about the show, but there's not that much. Have you guys ever done this quiz? It's the Read Your Color quiz. I'm going to pin it in the chat. readyourcolor.com. You can take this quiz. Let's all do it together. And it'll tell you what kind of stuff you read. We can get rid of this poll. Large unfuckable prostate has won. It's a quiz, but a fun quiz. It's not the pop quiz last night. So I've already taken the quiz. I am a blue reader. But let's just walk through it. I think I'll probably get the same answers. Let's go. Begin the quiz. All right, so a poetic memoir weaves together fragments chronicling the author's healing after grief. Would absolutely read that. Where's that? Would definitely read. So basically it gives you a scale of would not read to would definitely read. A woman falls in love with a man through anonymous letters exchanged in library books, never meeting until fate intervenes. I'm sorry, I would not read that book. I don't believe in heterosexual love. No, I'm not a romance fan. For me, it's too formulaic. In a city run by corporations, a lone data hacker risks everything to uncover the truth behind a mass digital blackout. I probably wouldn't read it. I'm not a huge sci-fi gal either. In a shattered world, more post-apocalyptic shit. In a shattered world ruled by elemental warlords, a cursed warrior and an outcast prince from a form of forbidden bond that could remake the realm. I'm with peace and love, not my stuff. Straight people are not real. A colonic memoir. That poor chicken needs a colonic memoir at this point. A solitary monk walks across America, encountering strangers who subtly reshape his inner life and beliefs. I might read that. That sounds kind of cool. I'd be more likely to read it if it was fiction. I'm just more of a fiction gal. Drawing on neuroscience and ancient philosophy, this guide helps overthinkers learn to make better decisions. I don't give a fuck about that. I would not read that. A surrealist artist discovers her paintings are portals to real worlds, and something is starting to come back through the canvas. I'd say I might read that. It sounds interesting. Alex the Fiction is a big fiction guy. A grumpy CEO starts to rethink what's important to him after he falls in love with a new VP of marketing. Nothing sounds worse than that, so definitely not. Thank you for subscribing. I don't know why you can't hear people doing that. What's the problem now? I don't know why y'all can't hear the audio capture now. We'll see if that helps. Okay, an ex-assassin hiding in Alaska must confront his past when his daughter is taken by a vengeful arms dealer. I'm definitely not reading that. We hate a CEO love story. Yeah, like what are we doing? A chef's journeys across post-Soviet Europe searching for the recipes that defined her grandmother's lost homeland. Absolutely would read that. I love books about food that are done well. And I love, like personal journeys. A multi-generational, already got me. This is exactly the kind of book that I'm writing right now, a multi-generational novel. So I'm like, yup, smash that button. Told from the perspective of a single house and the people who lived, loved, and died within it. If this sounds like a cool idea for you, y'all should watch If These Walls Could Talk. Okay, a deep dive into how food systems, global trade, and local economies shape the way we eat and how to eat better. I might read that. I mean, it sounds interesting if I was in the mood for that kind of thing. A linguist and an ex-CIA operative must decode an ancient manuscript before a secret society reshapes history. That sounds fucking cool. Like, that sounds like my kind of beach read. Kind of like, oh, thank you for subscribing. Yeah, I don't know why the sounds aren't working. Are y'all hearing the sounds? You must not be able to. I don't know what's going on. Anywho. Let's see if we do that, if that helps. So yeah, that kind of sounds like a Da Vinci Code, which is like a fun kind of thing that I would want to read. I heard a door squeak. It's probably my chair. A novel told entirely through footnotes and deleted Wikipedia entries reconstructs the life of a time traveler who never existed. Maybe it would have to be done really well. A struggling screenwriter falls for the nanny of his ex-wife's kids. No. In a future where dreams can be uploaded and bought, a woman begins to lose the line between memory and product. Maybe. That's a maybe for me. Again, like speculative fiction. A former Silicon Valley exec shares what broke him, what healed him, and how to live a more intentional digital life. I would rather set myself on fire. A rescue team in Antarctica picks up a distress signal from a base that officially doesn't exist and never did. I might read that just if there was like a lot of cool stuff about Antarctica in it. A cultural critic's essay collection on the end of privacy, the aesthetics of apocalypse, and what comes after capitalism. I'd probably read that. That sounds fun. A woman uncovers a box of unsent letters and begins to rewrite the story of her childhood. 1000% I'm reading that book. Yeah, I have my own squeak, just like Abba and Preach. A clear, no-nonsense manual on how to lead teams. I don't give a fuck about that. An ornithologist joins a rogue expedition into the Congo to find a supposedly extinct bird. Then the team starts vanishing one by one. I might read that. In an alternate 1800s, a woman disguises herself as a man. I love that shit. Would definitely read a woman disguising herself as a man to join a pirate crew. That sounds fucking cool. I wish that was a real book. A box of mementos hidden by her late husband sends a young widow on a cross-country road trip through memory and mourning. I might read it. Again, not a huge fan of heterosexual love, but you never know. Yeah, blue by a mile. Blue by a mile. Purple. We got a blue. We got a yellow. Game ads ruining the flow. Oh, no. Oh, you can hear the sound then. That's the AIM sound. I don't know why I can't hear it in my headphones. Red reader, purple, red. Is that, Carissa, is that the green for green reader? Now, wasn't that fun? All right, let me try this again. I want to restart this. So yeah, I thought that was really cool. Oh, I'm so glad you guys can hear it, because I'm like, why can't I fucking hear it? Luckily, I can see the little fireworks. So yeah, and then it should give you like book recommendations as well. So I'm a blue reader. I'm just so deep, guys. I'm just so deep and complex. And then keep scrolling for custom book recs. I've never read any of these. Well, I've read Night, and Educated is on my list. But I've never read Gilead, and I've never read Never Let Me Go. So I got two examples. I mean, I got two recommendations. I just finished Wide Sargasso Sea, which I was kind of disappointed in. But that's a story for another day. So let's talk about H3, eh? Let's do it. Okay. So the first thing that I was annoyed about, that I wanted to talk about, was Hasan comparing himself to Superman. Like, y'all have given this man way too much ego. The fact that he said this unironically is just mind-boggling.
Let's hop on down. Hasan thinks he's Superman. Thank you. Very humble guy, by the way.
So,
unreal.
Like what Superman does here is his involvement in global affairs, like his moral.
Just imagine, as you listen to this, imagine you're on a date with Hasan. Imagine you're on a date with a guy and he is mansplaining Superman to you and how he identifies with it. I would put a fucking steak knife through my ear hole.
Moral compass causes others to also take action, causes others who have power to also take action. He literally makes people, he springs others into action. That's the whole point. That is the I don't know. I just saw like a lot of
bro, what?
Of what I've tried.
I saw a lot of what I've tried in Superman? You saw a lot of yourself in fucking Superman? You are a streamer, bro. This is crazy. Like, this just feels like rage bait. Like, did he do this? Is this a joke? Superman definitely laughs at rape victims, right? Imagine! So, like, what, 2 days ago, he's telling a trans woman that she's selfish for being scared of Trump, right? And having the gall to reference that when she's talking about Israel-Palestine. And now he's saying, yeah, me and Superman are basically the same. Like, we're both trying to make people act and make the world better. It's like, girl, shut up. Shut the fuck up.
I'm sorry, but
How do people listen to this and take it seriously?
Hello.
I'm already cringing. But now it gets bad. Now it gets bad.
With commentary in general, which is like to influence others to also do right and to defend vulnerable people.
I just want to look at chat while this is happening. Yuppers, to educate others. Yeah, it was great.
And to show
Justice Libs. He doesn't understand conflict. Why do you think he failed as a screenwriter? Oh, they're talking about Shapiro. Superman is one sneeze away from destroying the planet at any time and chooses to not let anyone get harmed in the process. Yeah, that's just like Hasan.
By not just telling, but also doing.
Superman is the glue.
No matter what the repercussions are. And I think that's what's
he's
telling.
This is literally. So now Hasan is he is self-glazing, right? Because he's drawn the parallel between himself and Superman for his fans, and now he's describing Superman as this brave, courageous person who, you know, sticks his neck out to defend what's right no matter the consequences. So brave, Hasan.
Influence others to also do right and to defend vulnerable people.
Literally 2 days ago, you called a trans woman selfish. Literally no one is more vulnerable than trans women in this country, except now maybe immigrants. And you also didn't fight hard for them, right? You continue to say that Trump is equal to Biden and Kamala, that there was no choice, there was no good choice. You inspired apathy in your viewers. And impotent rage, which you continue to do today, just like Superman would. Just protecting those vulnerable people.
And
Meanwhile, not one person in Palestine was saved by anything that you've done. And now thousands of immigrants are being ripped from their families. And you are a little bit to blame, at least.
By...
Why doesn't he reverse the spin of the earth and prevent himself from dropping the T slur? Oh, my God. People attacking ContraPoints tells me everything I need to know about them. Fair weather allies. It's so stupid. And it's such a virtue signaling. It's just a way to get brownie points with this weird little clique. And that is what they are. They are a clique.
Not just telling, but also doing. No.
Hasan, why don't you... Never mind.
No matter what the repercussions are. And I think that's that was what was great. Like, he is an inspirational figure.
Hasan fancies himself an inspirational figure. What the fuck is happening? I do not understand how people are watching this. The lack of humility, the lack of self-awareness of doing this is psychotic. And it seems like there's at least some people in the chat that agree. Bro thinks he's Superman. You aren't Superman. I mean, a couple, but and then some people, you are Superman. But
not just inspirational towards human beings, but also towards metahumans and people who are powerful themselves.
He said,
huh? What the fuck does that mean? And so in this case, in his world, who are the metahumans? I don't know if metahumans is a thing in Superman lore, but like if he's comparing himself to Superman, who is he considering metahumans? Is that like the lower people? The people who follow you, the people who ride your coattails? Are those humans born on Earth with powers? Oh, okay. So like, what's the equivalence here? Felix, that's what I was gonna say, and I didn't. The Mexicans are the metahumans. Oh my God! Like literally, what is he talking about? He's an inspirational. Superman is an inspirational character. He's also really strong and hot and has a normal size head, just like me.
Saying he's respectful to metahumans.
You paused it at the worst possible moment. I could not follow the point he was trying to make.
Because this is what he always does. He's talking nonsense.
times a year. Not
I
just
went back for you,
general,
Dan.
which is like to
I went back for you, Dan.
Take action. He literally makes people. He springs others into action. That's the whole point.
What action have you sprung anyone into besides completely, I'll say it again, impotent, reactionary harassment online? What action is anybody taking? Waiting for the story arc where a terrorist prints out Superman's face and gives it a thumbs up. Oh, God. It's coming in front of like a cargo ship. While he sits at his desk, right? Like classic Superman, just streaming 10 hours a day. Elias Rodriguez, maybe. Oof. I went to Ukraine without superpowers. Where's my New York Times puff piece? This man would run away from a fight. Superman, really? Superman has a normal head just like me. Oh, God. Yeah, he definitely gives more Homelander vibes than Superman.
That is the...
And also, have you guys seen Dr. Horrible's sing-along blog? He's so Nathan Fillion's character in that, who's like the good guy, but also a total fucking bully. Kate, I don't know if you forgot, but Hasan was debating going to Gaza. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I did forget that. Captain Hammer, thank you. Yeah, he's definitely Captain Hammer coded. Oops, Captain Hammer. Yeah, Nathan Fillion just being like a total dickhead the whole time. This is who you are. This is who you are. Okay. So there's that. That's just like embarrassing. Like, I think even as a Hasan fan, you got to be like, what are we watching? Because Ethan will say stuff where he's like pretending to be arrogant and it's a bit, right? Where he's like pretending to think he's the best and all that. But this guy is completely in earnest, it seems. And I've never seen him tell a joke or even laugh. Like legitimately, genuinely laugh. So this is embarrassing. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. How are his fans not cringing? Because they're just captured. Parker, yes, free Palestine. We all believe that here, baby. Baby boy. We all believe that. I don't know what you've heard. We can talk about Ethan doing crack. He loves when we talk about that. All right. So next up, this is still within the Superman conversation, but I just love this soundbite, and I hope that Zach clipped it, because if I were Avery, I would be so happy with this.
Thank you. That's my TED Talk. You guys are wrong, but thanks for trying.
I'm being told that I'm right by Avery, who is the biggest comic book
Avery
out of
is
all of us,
literally
so.
a Dan meat writer.
No, he's a mega awesome nerd. He said the Kryptonians were
Avery is a Dan meat writer. I love the phrase meat writer that he's been using lately. Rise up. Yeah, if you're a Dan meat writer, drop some hearts in chat. Poor Avery. What did he do? Catching strays. We love Dan. Hearts in chat if you're a Dan meat writer. That should be a new flair on Hi, little baby boy. Come up here. Come here. You're such a little baby. Dan has no backbone. I think it was it had to be surgically there was a surgery on his backbone after the scorpion chair. He unfortunately is scarred for life from that. So Parker, you're absolutely right about that. Okay, next up. Oh, we have the ContraPoints section. Okay, so I already did a video on ContraPoints' statement. Parker, I know you're going to love this, so make sure you stick around. I really wanted to show Ethan and AB having a civil back and forth with each other while not agreeing with each other. Because to me, that section was really important. It was like a really important moment. And I just wanted to highlight it and watch it again, because there were times when I was worried that Ethan would, like say stuff quickly and not really think about it. But they were both very respectful, very civil, and they were able to just agree on some things and disagree on other things. And I thought it was very instructive to the way that people that are both on the left should be able to talk to each other. So here we go.
I think the main thing for me was just the point she made about the videos and photos, and maybe she didn't mean it in this way. Of course, people do use it in ways that cause people to get.
Parker, don't be a pussy. You should stay and watch and learn something. They always leave when the information's coming, All right, let's get back to this. This is much more important than a little wussy in chat who doesn't like to learn new things.
The videos and photos, and maybe she didn't mean it in this way. Of course, people do use it in ways that cause people to get riled up, but I do think, moreover, the purpose is to spread awareness, and a lot of people gave their lives for some of that footage. So I do think it is impactful. And again, I don't think she was probably just talking about it in a different way, but
do you hear that? Giving her the benefit of the doubt, even though he disagrees with the way she said it, he's understanding of the fact that she probably did not mean it that way, right? We're going into this with goodwill. Yeah, and I agree. He does have a good point. I don't think that was necessary for her to include in there. I understand what she meant, just like AB is saying. Like, I understand that she meant that it was not about the videos and the images. It was the fact that there was no outlet for the rage that created. They were not being pointed toward a productive way to fight back, to resist, to help, right? It was just an onslaught of the footage that, yes, Palestinians wanted to be shared. But no one seemed to be taking that next step of like, okay, this is going to cause people to be very angry and feel a lot of despair. How can we channel that very powerful emotion into action, into something concrete that these people can do? And because that wasn't done, not that it was intentionally not done, but people were just panicking. They wanted to make sure everything got seen, and they thought that just doing that would be helpful, right? Minimize harm. Someone was here last night. But what ended up happening is because there was no productive outlet for these people who were just desperate to help, we started attacking each other and picking apart each other's opinions on this and blaming each other and vilifying each other, because in that sense we had some kind of, it felt like we had some control. It felt like we were making an impact, even if it was a negative impact on a stranger we'd never met, I absolutely loved this back and forth between Ethan and AB. This is how we need to have discussions regarding the conflict. 1,000%. And this isn't, right? This isn't a super hardcore pro-Israel person versus someone who's pro-Palestine and anti-genocide. These people are both anti-genocide, both want a free Palestine. But they have different experiences, different backgrounds, different connections to this part of the world. So they come at this from slightly different ways. And it's very easy to activate one another because of that, right? And I think that they handled this, they navigated this so well. So let's rewind just a little bit.
I disagree with you saying this rather than you're a piece of human garbage, you're Netanyahu. Again, if you really want to do something for the movement and express how you feel rather than just, attacking to show your purity, Like with Mike from PA, he's calling her human garbage. I don't know.
That's not helpful, right? I mean, Country Boys is not pro-genocide. Like, there's no way to spin that.
Yeah.
There's no...
Cheddar Salty Balls Urchin. Love the name, by the way. I think they don't share their whole opinion because they're afraid of Ethan's judgment. I think that this section is an example of AB sharing his opinion. Also, can you hear the purring? Can y'all hear that? So yeah, I think that AB is sharing his opinion here. He's holding back, in my opinion. Maybe he is. And maybe Ethan's holding back. There were moments where it feels like both of them are holding back, and maybe that is okay. Maybe to have a conversation where you find common ground with each other and middle ground means you aren't saying the most extreme things you believe. And I don't mean extreme as in like harmful or anything, but like if I'm talking to someone who disagrees with me about the police, I'm not going to immediately say, we need to defund the police, even though that's 100% what I believe, right? Like, you gotta meet people where they are and find that common ground, and then you can build something. You know what I mean? I think the internet, and let me do this so you guys can really see this cat, because he is adorable. Oh, you sleepy baby. This is my little sleepy baby. Oh, you just want to sleep? You don't want to see anybody? Okay. I think the internet has made us think that if we are not being 100% authentic and honest and sharing our full opinion all the time, then we are somehow a traitor. But if you've ever been in an environment where you don't fully agree with people in real life, like in person, face to face, the conversations are very, very different. And that's okay. Like, it's good to have a place where you can share your full opinion, right? And agree with people and make change. But if you're interested in convincing other people of your opinion, of persuading people to think differently, you have to do the work of compromise. And sometimes that compromise is the language you use, you know? When October 7th happened, I knew tensions would rise between Hasan and Ethan. You're totally right. I mean, that was, yeah. What I didn't see is how it's affecting Lena and AB. Yeah, unfortunately, like, from what I've been seeing, Lena and AB have been attacked by, according to AB, both sides. Like, oh, you're not supporting Ethan enough, which I think is a ridiculous thing to say. And then Hasan's side saying that they're like Muslim Uncle Toms, which, first of all, you do not get to use that term. That is a term for Black Americans to use and nobody else. They're in a very tough position for sure. Yep, the house slave thing too. This is not a black cat. This is a widow tabby with beautiful white eyeliner, but he just wants to be held. So yeah, you just go to sleep, Papa. Race traders and all that. Yeah, and it was like white people doing it to them. So yes, I think that they were put in a tough spot by a lot of parasocial people that, again, just wanted to make a difference, wanted to make an impact somehow. So they thought if they could convince AB to yell at Ethan, insult Ethan, to leave his job, that they will somehow have had an impact on what's happening in Palestine, right? And it's just not true. It might feel good in the moment, but it's not changing or helping anything. Okay, I put you down, you little baby. You can just stay right there if you want. There's a reason they're staying with the guy who actually cares and looks after them. Yeah.
Okay. A way to spin that. Like, she's on your side. Yeah. But my thing is, like, I read her statement and I genuinely inquired. I put out a story that nobody seemed to respond to. I said, what is the conditional support that you claim she's offering them in that statement? Because I didn't see any of it.
Okay, so that's how he feels, and now Ethan's going to clarify a little bit. I mean, AB's going to clarify.
I didn't see it at all.
I think the main thing for me was just the point she made about the videos and photos, and you know, maybe she didn't mean it in this way. Of course, people do use it in ways that cause people to get riled up, but I do think, moreover, the purpose is to spread awareness, and you know, a lot of people.
I agree with that. I don't think that the riling people up was intentional, but that was the result because there was no outlet, which is what ContraPoint said.
People gave their lives for some of that footage, so I do think it is impactful. And again, I don't think she was probably just talking about it in a different way, but yeah.
I know what you mean. I also know what she means.
I know what you mean. I know what she means. They're navigating this carefully. This is what real human interaction is, and I think that gets lost in the internet, right? Where everything is like turned up to 11.
There are people that share it cynically, I feel like. And
right? They're both finding things that they agree on. Like, okay, we both agree that maybe there are some opportunists, right?
Obviously, like most people are sharing this out of genuine concern, right?
Right? And he says, I agree with you. Most people are sharing out of genuine concern.
And I agree with, you know, also, like, again, it is an excuse for a lot of actual, like, anti-Semitic people to come out of hiding and, you know, be anti-Semitic.
Right. So now AB is not conceding, but he's expanding and saying, like, you agree with me on this. I agree with you that it's also being used by anti-Semitic hitchhikers, right? As we know, the cause is being done.
Like, I agree with that as well. You know, both are true.
But
But this is what, and someone, was it Lana? This is how normal adults talk about a somewhat challenging topic. This is why I hate when people say that this is not a complicated topic. That is how I know that you are fucking immature and you don't know anything. When you say that this is not a complicated topic. You say that because you have never tried to navigate a gray area with people, right? Or you've never tried to find common ground with someone that you don't fully understand, right? Or maybe you don't respect their opinion. This is what it sounds like to talk about something that's complicated. It's not necessarily complicated because, oh, genocide is complicated and sometimes it's good and sometimes it's bad. It's complicated because people have fucking feelings. People have feelings. People are tied to this region of the world in different ways, right? People are raised believing different things. That's what makes it complicated. The human aspect of it.
Totally, I think I agree with you. The way that came off, she could have worded better. It came off as a little callous.
And now Ethan concedes. You're right, AB. That was a little callous of her, right? We're finding common ground. We're agreeing. We're exchanging, right? We're learning things. We're talking to each other. We're exchanging.
But yeah, I agree with you.
I just think that was beautiful. It was a tricky moment, right? AB had the courage to speak up to his boss, which isn't always easy, right? And Ethan, who a lot of times is very fiery, especially about this topic because of how personal it has gotten and how much harassment he's gotten, he kept his cool and they both listened to each other, right? That is a real conversation. And anyone that's saying that this is in some way not the way to do it, like you have never, you have no conflict resolution skills. And because of that, among other things, I don't trust what your opinion is on Israel-Palestine. If you don't see the value in this conversation between an Israeli American and a Lebanese American, between a Jewish person and a Muslim on the topic of Israel-Palestine, you don't fucking know anything. This kind of conversation is not happening in Hasan's spaces, in the orbiter's spaces, right? This kind of conversation isn't for everyone, right? Not everyone wants to spend the emotional labor doing this as a Muslim or a Jewish person. But it is still important that it is done. It is still important that people do it. There's an analogy about activism. That activism is like a highway. There are a lot of lanes. You don't have to be in all the lanes. You actually can't be in all the lanes, right? But all the lanes are important. And this lane of having difficult, challenging, sensitive conversations with people who have a different lived experience than you is hugely important to actually reaching peace. It's not paying lip service. It's not performative or virtue signaling or any of the other shitty, thought-terminating cliches you're going to hear from the snarkers on this conversation, because you know they're going to blow it up. This is like a building block, a foundational piece of negotiation, of conflict resolution, of actually finding sustainable peace, is practicing these conversations on things that have lower stakes, right? Ethan and AB know to be sensitive about this serious topic. Was thinking of watching Hasan on the Majority Report. Maybe there'd be good conversation there, but my time is valuable. I mean, if you like that kind of thing, go for it, right? Or just catch the clips after. So yeah, I think this was very instructive. Like, I think this was a great example of give and take, and finding common ground and conceding and, listening to each other and learning from each other and being open to saying, oh, you know what? I agree with you on that. Or I was wrong about that. Or, maybe I didn't give them enough credit or enough benefit of the doubt. You're right about that. Or maybe I wasn't seeing it from this way. This is shit Hasan does not do, right? And that's why he's so, the only word coming to mind is seductive. Like his version of activism is seductive because it's very black and white. It's very abrupt. It's very forceful. And there's no time, no room to think. So it makes you feel secure. You're like, okay, this guy has it all figured out. And he is going to tell me exactly what I need to say to these people. Turns out everything he's telling you is just insulting the other person and shaming them into agreeing with you, which doesn't work. It simply doesn't work. But it does make people who are underinformed feel like they have some power and control because they're given a vocabulary. They're given a language to use. This also happens in high control groups, also known as cults, where they develop their own vocabulary, right? Superman is also a reporter that did research on topics. That's right. Definitely not that much like Superman after all, buddy. Seeing all the craziness online, I so appreciate the fairness and openness here. That's all I want. I want to create that space because I'm so exhausted of the debate perverts and all of that other shit that's going on. It's just none of it is of interest to me. And I don't want it. I don't want it in my life. I don't want it in your lives. Just look at all the people that Hasan associates himself with and collaborates with, and look at the communities who he interacts with in streamers like Valkyrie, Pokimane, and Ludwig. I don't know what you mean by that. Superman also interviews himself and presents it as unbiased. Well, I don't understand wanting to be surrounded by hateful and nastiness, because that the hatred is build to them as passion. They're being passionate, that genocide is their red line and all the means are justified by the ends, that it doesn't matter how we talk to people, how we treat people, because whatever we're doing is in the best interest of, the people of the world. When really, no, it's fucking not. Just like Israel bombing Gaza into the fucking Stone Age is not good for the world, because you're just creating more people who are going to fucking hate Israel and maybe also hate Jews, right? So why do you think treating liberals and progressives like pieces of shit is going to be good for any sort of progress, right? I still struggle to understand Hasan. He never seems happy. I wish I could understand the pain behind the terrible decisions. That is a very compassionate way to think about it. To me, yeah, he does seem unhappy. He seems very uncomfortable, like in his own skin. And that is sad. This is bigger than Hasan, though. Absolutely. It's so easy to gain a following when someone provides simple solutions for very complex problems. Exactly. I mean, we see it on the right all the time. Like, that's literally Trump. Oh, America's a shithole. Everything's bad, and none of us can afford rent, and we're all, we have food insecurity. It's the immigrants. Oh, thank God that's settled. And thank God it's not my fault. Right? It's like Blame Canada in the South Park movie. We got to blame Canada before someone thinks of blaming us for America's violence problem. Yeah, it's the lack of introspection that is dangerous. It's dangerous. And then I hope Hasan tries therapy. Me too, and I mean that earnestly, not in like a gaslighty, he's insane way. And maybe he has. Maybe he is in therapy. Who freaking knows? Another part of the episode I really liked was Dan leading the segment on Epstein. Kate, what you said earlier about Hasan never being funny or telling a joke is weighing on me. Show me a joke that he's told. Yeah. Dan Meatriders, rise up. It's Dan Meatrider hour. Yeah, I just loved him running this segment. It was so organized and prepared, and he really kept it moving. Like, he's got so many talents, right? Like, Dan is just such a talented, smart guy. And I will say, like, I love the way Ethan runs his show. It's much looser. It's much more type B, which I am. It moves here, it moves there. It's funny when he gets off track, right? There is a charm to that. But I also like having the more like structured segments, like when Olivia does the PowerPoint, or when now Dan does these little political updates. And I like that Ethan said he wants to do more of it. And maybe now that there's more staff on board, like Dan has more time to prepare stuff like this that he's interested in. So I really loved Dan leading this and having Ethan commentating. And I don't need or want like regular political updates from this show. Like I said last night, Ethan is not my source of news, and I don't want him to be, right? Like, I don't want that at all. But if it's something that Dan enjoys doing, I'll watch it. I'll watch him like talk about Warhammer. I'll watch him talk about whatever he wants. Like, he's just such a good presenter. He did such a great job. And as for like what they were actually talking about, the whole thing with Epstein and the fact that the MAGA ding-dongs are turning on Trump now, right? Like, I feel like this is always the Achilles heel of conspiracy or like cult leaders, is they don't realize the monster they're building, right? They don't realize the monster they've created. You live by the sword of conspiracy theories, you die by the same sword. Like, if you spend all of your time creating and indulging completely deluded, mentally ill conspiracy theorists, at some point you are going to become their next conspiracy theory. Like if they run out of shit to chomp on, if the JFK stuff gets old, they're going to turn on you because you are in a position of power and they don't trust people in power. Facts are kryptonite too, Hasan. I swear to God, I saw that in chat like yesterday, but maybe I'm like having deja vu. So yeah, it's the rookie mistake of any cult leader to not tread carefully around the conspiracy theorists that you have cultivated, that you've essentially groomed, right? And so it turns out that this release last Monday of this video is just creating more conspiracy theorists where there weren't any, right? Like people beyond MAGA are now like, okay, maybe he is hiding something. And that's what they were talking about on the show. And it's really been like a Streisand effect where maybe if he hadn't said anything, or maybe if he had just released them and not done all this weird hemming and hawing and, delaying and vamping about it, maybe this wouldn't have happened. However, based on the shit that they showed today, it does seem like Trump is almost definitely implicated in these files. It's all computer. But wasn't Trump the one pushing to release the files? I think it was everyone around him but him, which is really funny. Yeah, I don't know where the original requests came from. We call that brainwashing. Yeah, 100%. They should make a new Dan and Talk intro, but with Olivia's Goss Talk music. Absolutely. That would be really cute. They definitely need a better name than Lib Talk, though. 34 out of 34 counts of fraud and a sexual predator. Yeah. So yeah, and I think it's also gross that he used Texas as the way Hasan uses a genocide, right? Anytime he's criticized, he's like, wow, I'm sorry, I wasn't focused on that. There's a genocide going on. And now Trump is like, wow, I'm sorry, I'm not thinking about Epstein anymore because Texas is underwater. Meanwhile, this motherfucker hasn't sent any substantial aid to Texas. Documents show FEMA calls went unanswered. New data reveals FEMA missed major flood risks at Camp Mystic. That's because he has been in the process of trying to completely dismantle FEMA. FEMA deleted Texas camp's buildings from flood map. So they didn't even know what the risk was. So, like, you don't want to talk about Epstein. Okay, well, you're also fucking up Texas. So if you want to talk about that, sure, we can. We can talk about Texas if you want. What sucks is, I mean, apparently Trump is like backing off of getting rid of FEMA now because of everything that's happening in Texas. But I wish like one fucking time we didn't move forward only because of a terrible tragedy, you know? Awful. Awful, awful, awful. So I think that's it. I wanted to talk about Gato fumador. But, well, I mean, let's just click through Ethan's stories as the last bit for tonight. I don't want to talk too much about it because I'm sure they're going to talk about it on Wednesday. But if you missed it, Ethan and Dan Saltman seems to be, sort of like tag teaming, figuring out who this absolutely rotted Twitter user is. And it seems they have found their identity. As all the way down to like what the inside of their basement looks like, which is crazy. I mean, I'm guessing it's from Zillow, right? But here we go. These are just about expired, so let's run through them quickly. Many of you have seen this Twitter user, Gato Fumador, because of his obsession with us and the depravity of his attacks. He is frequently retweeted by the likes of Hasan Piker and Taylor Lorenz, very true, as part of their defamation campaign. They will signal boost his more sane tweets to make sure everyone sees his depraved takes. They have retweeted or commented hundreds of times on this guy's stuff. Unfortunately, being an internet fall guy has its downside, specifically the most obvious, being held responsible. And so again, this is someone that is like lower level, is not famous in the way that Hasan is, right? But is doing Hasan's bidding and is about to get caught up, hemmed up, because he's been doing that. Just like Denims and Frogan and Caseytron, right? They're doing all this crazy shit that Hasan wipes his hands of to maintain plausible deniability. He lets these people be insane so he doesn't look like the bad guy. But the reason these people are doing this is in my opinion, to avenge some wrong that Ethan has done to Hasan by daring to criticize him. Oh shit, they're all gone. Oh no. Wait. Oh, they're back. No. Damn, we missed them. All right, well, basically, I bet I can go to Reddit and get them. Because shout out Reddit. H3. Yeah, you guys can see all the shit that I've looked up. Gato. Ethan stories. Why doesn't it just show me the most recent shit? Oh, anyway. Y'all probably saw it. There's that. Saltman has no moral scruples. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of him. He was actually the one who sent me Hasan's tweet archives and was like, this is him being super misogynistic. That was not what I found in there. Like, I think he's very vindictive. I don't think Ethan is working with Dan Saltman beyond his company sponsoring the show sometimes. Yeah, but there's like, they've both been posting about Gato Fumador. So I was assuming that maybe they are working on things together. I mean, Dan seems to be able to find a lot of shit that others can't or aren't interested in finding. So I don't know. But I'm not a huge fan of his at all. He's like too deep in it. Like he's just about hating Hasan and doing anything to like destroy him. And I'm not that invested in it, right? Just not that invested in it. Hang on, I'm checking Yeet, because Yeet also puts up Ethan's stories sometimes. Oh, here's some. Okay, we're getting there, y'all. Okay, here we go. I found it. So we read this one. For the longest time, these attack dogs have operated with impunity, relying on their anonymity to protect them. They revel in their impunity, uttering things a public person never would. Specifically, persistent defamation of the worst and most brazen kind. And, you can see the gross shit that he's saying. In today's age of rapidly improving technology, anonymity is nearly impossible to maintain, even for a throwaway Twitter account. For example, he just fucking gives it to him. The operator behind this account is a 37-year-old single male who is currently unemployed and living with his parents, named DB. You don't need to know his name. He just needs to know that I do. This person is clearly down and out, and it's a shame that instead of improving his life, he's dedicated all his time and energy into snarking strangers on the internet. I hope that the information Ethan got is legit. Right? Because I try... Sometimes if he is getting it in some way from Dan Saltman, I feel like Dan Saltman moves too fast sometimes, just in the interest of like getting the word out and getting people slammed. Now, as a result of his unforgivable attacks on my family, his outlook is even more bleak. He's facing down a lifetime of soul-crushing debt and litigation. He doesn't have a wage now, but if he does ever crawl out of his mother's yellow-walled basement, I see you, DB. I will be garnishing every cent he earns for the rest of his life. Listen, I absolutely believe that this fucking guy, allegedly, deserves consequences. I do not fault Ethan at all for finding ways to hold these gross, threatening people accountable. Because maybe that's the only way they learn, right? Like maybe that's the only way they can learn that you can't just do this to people. Yeah, the Diorio-Saltman disagreement seems so small for them to have an actual fallout random. Yeah, I was like, I don't even want to follow that. Like I've kind of stopped watching all of that stuff. I think because I'm now spending time making my own show. And sometimes it's like about similar things that I don't want to hear their opinions. I want my opinions to be like fresh and untainted. And I don't always love the way that they talk about things. There are a handful of attack dogs that operate similarly on Twitter for the benefit of Hasan and Taylor Lorenz. They know who they are, and I have the time and money to find each and every one of you. I've said it before. I love Goblin Mode, Ethan. As you have reveled in your anonymity as a means to defame me and attack my family and children, I now revel in shining a light into the pathetic corner of the internet where you exist. I am coming for all of you. In the meantime, D, you'll be hearing more from me soon. I have the honor to be your obedient servant, E. Klein. So we have that. And then Mr. Gato went private for a while. And while he was private, he was sharing all kinds of dumb shit. Ethan says, D, remember not to erase anything. Spoliation would look very bad to a judge. And then we have Gato coming back, or this is when he was private. Why would I delete anything? Truth, it turns out, is a complete defense against defamation. Also, I'm thrilled that I get to be the reason you're forced to finally shutter your dim-witted wife's hideous pervert clothing brand. Why does everything have to be perverts? Like, think it's ugly, but why do you gotta do like the Pizzagate shit on everything? It's just so transparent, y'all. Yeah, this guy sucks. Oh, brother, this guy stinks. Oh yeah, as long as I'm privated, I might as well admit to being the person who started both our H3 Snark and Leftovers H3, and I'm also a mod over at R Fomois. By the way, Ethan, just in case you see this, if you wanted the Reddit content moderation team to give you the same special treatment you get over at YouTube, you probably should have held off on making all those unhinged death threats to Steve Huffman. I don't think that he made any death threats. I don't remember that at all. I feel like this is bait, right? This feels very bad empanada coded, if I'm honest. It feels very in the style of Mr. Empanada, right? Just like lying and taking credit for the CPS call. But I also wouldn't be surprised that someone would be super involved in all of the subreddits, because as we've seen from the data that one of my viewers shared maybe last week, the Snark subreddit, I mean, it's like the 80-20 rule, right? It's like a very small group of people posting a lot. Why does it lie? Yeah, I don't know why it lies. They really just don't have anything going on. It's sad. It's sad. Well, that's the show, y'all. I think we covered everything. We didn't talk about Elmo. I loved Nate's Elmo impression. I feel like that might come in handy as time goes on. I hope y'all had a wonderful time here. Thank you so much for being here. It's been a great stream. Yeah, thank you, Witch, for calling in. Thank you, Witch. That was a wonderful story. It was a wonderful story you told us all. So I will be back on Wednesday. I'm going to do Mondays and Wednesdays. So same day as the show, we will meet here 9:30 Eastern to talk about the show. So no show on Tuesdays, and sometimes I'll do Fridays if I'm not busy. Okay? So I will see you all on Wednesday. If I decide to do other random streams, y'all will be the first to know. So, everybody, I'll see you Wednesday. Bye.